Blacklisted and desperate, Ben Richards decides to sign up to The Running Man, a television show in which a contestant is required to evade capture for 30 days or die trying. Film fans YouTube, hello and welcome back to the channel. I am Josh, your Movie Apprentice, and today I am looking at The Running Man, directed by Edgar Wright, starring Glen Powell, Colman, Domingo, Josh Brolin, and Michael Cera. It is based on a Stephen King novel and also a remake of the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie from a few decades ago. I do not believe there are too many similarities with this movie, as this very much has an overarching theme of Edgar Wright taking aim at media and deep fakes and potentially a jibe at AI as well. But before I get into my full review, if you like seeing on the channel, make sure you are clicking that like button and subscribing for more video reviews like this coming all the time. So let's jump straight into this one. This is an Edgar Wright movie, and with Edgar Wright movies, I'm always going into it expecting something zany, something high energy and wacky. And the trailer for this very much promised that energy that we come to expect from Edgar Wright movies. However, upon completing the film, this felt very overcrowded for me. There are some heavy thematic elements in this, especially those about media and its lies and how the media manipulates people to perceive people in a certain way, and very much takes aim at that whole concept of the media manipulating the audience and how it's not caring for the truth as long as it creates good show business. Glen Powell in this is solid enough. In terms of him as a lead actor, it's weird. He was great in Hitman, but in this, I found myself just watching him and not really appreciating his performance all too much, even when he's getting very impassionate, especially when it comes to wanting to see his kid again, his sick daughter. He has this line he says multiple times of, "You're not going to be the person that stands between me and seeing my daughter again." But he always seems to be overshadowed when there's another key character on screen with him. Michael Cera is great in his small role in this. It's weird to think that that's now the second anarchist character we have had this year after Benicio del Toro's character. That you could see these two being opposites of the same coin, and I quite enjoyed his small appearance in this movie. Josh Brolin as the CEO of this incorporation, this media machine. He is solid in this. So manipulative, so laid back. I can never truly tell what he is thinking when you're having these conversations with him and trying to assess if he genuinely means what he's saying or if he's just saying the right things to make the contestant believe what he's saying. That is an element I really liked, but the scene stealer in this is Colman Domingo as the host of The Running Man. Every time he's on screen, a big smile is hitting my face because he is so entertaining as this presenter. He is so charismatic. His one line to Glen Powell saying, "Relax, kids, it's show business." Love that line. Loved everything about his character in this one. He is so charismatic, and I'm not gonna lie, I would love to watch a game show being hosted by Colman Domingo. He is just so infectious in this movie in his supporting role. You can see why people latch on to every word he says in this movie. We obviously have Lee Pace and Katie O'Brien as well in this that do solid jobs in their role. This is an Edgar Wright movie, and it doesn't feel very Edgar Wright for a good amount of it. Don't get me wrong, there are those zany elements, there's that dry comedy, that humor in there. There are some really wacky moments, high action moments, but it feels very overcrowded and sometimes the energy doesn't feel as effective. It feels like the trailer promised this high adrenaline filled theme park ride instead of the roller coaster we are getting promised in the promotion for this movie. We're getting more of a merry-go-round ride. Still a pleasant experience, but nowhere near as adrenaline pumped as we have seen. I love the ideas with it and the recording yourself to keep the producers updated with what you're doing and also allow them to track you. That's a fun little element. And I did like the small amount of time we are given between Glen Powell and his wife and daughter in this one to set up the stakes for his character. You really buy into why he would go through with this Running Man competition that no one has actually ever won. That is an element I do like. But then we get into the thematic elements and it feels very heavy-handed. We go from just this guy trying to survive, and he ends up doing sort of a Katniss Everdeen, in which he is becoming the figurehead of a movement, and people are in the streets chanting his name, rooting for him to win the day. The music in this, absolutely adore it. I feel like the theme for this film might be one of my favorite themes all year. It just sticks in your head, and especially with how the film times the beat of a character's name with the song's beat. That is something I really enjoyed. It depicts how deep fakes happen. So this very much feels like Edgar Wright is taking direct aim at artificial intelligence and how much it's getting used in a creative sense, and how the media will manipulate the audience. The truth will be presented and they will alter it in such a way that the audience will always despise the person that is actually on their side. And there's a great character that gets introduced in later half of this movie that I wish we got more of that character, because they represent the gullible side of consumerism, and their character arc as they begin to interact with the running man. Their character arc just feels very rushed. So they go from being the brainwashed consumer to effectively an anarchist that is fighting against the machine in barely any screen time. There is so much that is packed into this film that there is not enough time devoted to really fleshing out certain aspects. The Running Man comes across various allies throughout this movie. Very few of them tend to last more than 10, 15 minutes for one reason or another. And that I found to be a crying shame. And whilst the ending, how it all comes together at the end, is therapeutic, it feels like a firecracker that hasn't done as loud a bang as it probably should have. I feel like this film's themes would have hit a lot harder had it not been immediately following up The Long Walk and One Battle After Another. The Long Walk depicting a dystopian future where a lot of kids compete for this grand prize, these dreams that are getting pitched to them. Similar concept to The Running Man. And we have the anarchist revolution aspect that is touched upon already in One Battle After Another. As I've said, Benicio del Toro's character in this and Michael Cera's character in this, they are two sides of the same coin. And I quite enjoyed those characters. But because we've had those movies this year, going into this one, it felt like a diet version of some of the thematic elements we have seen in other films this year. That does feel like an unfair comparison because we're trying to grade this film on its own, but the film does come across as very heavy handed in its messaging. Whilst it is trying to say a lot, it's so transparent with it and so in your face with it that it lacks any nuance. But the film does not stop, it just keeps going and never really sits with these heavy themes, and it just gets very overstuffed by the end of it. Before I get into my full grade, if you like what's on the channel, click the like button and subscribe for more video reviews that's coming all the time. Without further ado, let's grade this one. So, The Running Man is an entertaining ride. I will say we are 3 for 3 for Stephen King adaptations this year. I do feel like this might actually be the best year for Stephen King adaptations, but compared to the other ones that released this year, this was definitely the weakest one. It's nowhere near my favorite Edgar Wright movie. Doesn't seem to have the same energy that its previous films have. And whilst I appreciated the shots it takes at the media, its manipulation, and artificial intelligence, it does feel like it is just scratching the surface rather than diving really deep into those films. There's been a lot of films lately that have been all about showing thematic elements of going against the machine, against the media, but they are more and more coming across as hollow. I don't know if that's me just being more cynical as I get a little bit older, but for me, it feels like some of these films are speaking but not really saying anything at all. I feel like Running Man falls very much in this. That being said, it is an entertaining ride. I thoroughly enjoy the little nuggets that are on the screen, like whenever they show what day it is or what rewards he's getting for completing certain tasks. I like that small element of it. I love the little VHS recorder that is futuristic but also dystopian. I like that element. I love all the side characters in this. But again, just feels like it could have been fleshed out with some characters a little bit more, or at least be given more of a resolution to these characters. The thematic elements I appreciate, but they don't go deep enough for me. It's very underwhelming by the end of it. Some people are going to love this as a popcorn flick, but for me, I know Edgar Wright is capable of a lot more. And compared to what we were offered, what we were sold in the promotion for this movie, this felt like it undersold itself. So I'm going to have to say that for me, The Running Man is a tea that needs more sugar. So The Running Man, have you seen it? If you have, let me know down in the comments below. Coming up on the channel, a couple of last London Film Festival reviews, and I'll probably be reviewing the third Now You See Me movie. Until next time, everybody, I am Josh, I have been Movie Apprentice, and I'll see you all in the next video.